Today, Paul and Heather are joined by a young up-and-comer from the CheckPoint pre-show, Graham.
But there's no pre-show this week.
Yeah. It's just the real show.
Sometimes we like to call it a teaser to this show.
Who's gonna warm up the crowd?
Yeah. Well, I guess we are. We're gonna have to be responsible for ourselves today.
Yeah, crowd, just do this. Just warm yourself up.
Really, it did snow.
Yeah.
It was cold yesterday.
There's like a little indication of snow out there. There's like a couple of little patches.
We had a bit of snow. 3 days ago, when the first surprise snow happened that was not forecast. Walking to school that morning with the wind chill, it was like -2, but with the wind chill, it felt like -9.
Oof.
And so the wind was it was the most miserable walk to school. Penelope was not having a good day. It was just both of us were just like, let us inside.
Yeah. Not to put too much pressure on you, Graham, but we don't normally have special guests on this show, so if you do poorly, no more special guests.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm going to lower
Ever. Not even
Graham,
just you. Just all of them.
Yeah. Graham is filling in for Beej, I guess, who isn't here today,
Beej pops up and then doesn't pop up sometimes. I feel like he's going to get relegated to special guest status at this point.
Ooh, you can get demoted to special guest.
It's true. Yeah.
Nice. That happens sometimes in sitcoms. When someone moves from like a regular, like a series regular to like special appearances, they appear like 3 or 4 times in the following season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in it's a Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Where they like they're all excited about doing a gig, and it's like some other person with special guest, which is them.
Right.
Like, oh man. Anyway, hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to ChillPoint, the show where we talk about the week's video game news, and often talk about the checkpoint that went up the day before. However, that's not the case today, because
for multiple reasons.
Yeah. Because there's no checkpoint that went up yesterday. Also, today is Thursday. I'm sorry if having ChillPoint on Thursday is going to mess up your entire scheduling internal schedule.
Don't worry, it's going to mess up mine too, because now it's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday, and I'm just going to really be in the office at the wrong time.
Happy Monday, everyone.
Yeah. Well, we started on CTS on Monday. When we were about to go offline, Ben was like, "Happy Wednesday, everybody!" I'm like, and then I was like, "Okay, sure. Apparently it's Wednesday today." And he's like, "What?"
We do the show on Wednesday. Yeah, it was so.
He was a little bit. He was still recovering from his booster.
Yeah.
So he was like a little bit out of it.
Yeah, good stream.
Anyway,
though. Mario Party's
that was fun. That was fun.
Mario Party's good stuff. Yeah.
I like that Kathleen disconnected twice and still managed to win.
Yeah, the whole it's like, it would be better if you didn't disconnect, but the thing where you just disconnect and transparently to the other players are not notified that you've been replaced by a computer. It's like, wow, this person has just stopped really
trying.
Yeah, the quality of their gameplay has really gone down.
Yeah.
Or up.
What was personally funny to me was Kathleen had just apologized for being bad at minigames because we had gotten partnered in the same minigame.
Right.
Got disconnected and then got replaced by an AI. That I'm like, I don't know that you would have been worse than this AI though, Kathleen. This AI was pretty terrible in this partner game of mine. We just had to pass a cherry back and forth.
Yeah.
Anyway. That was video game news of a very specific kind, which is video games that were on.
We talked about our other stream.
It's true.
We didn't have another stream to talk about this week. Now I filled in with a different one.
Yes.
CheckPoint's been replaced by CTS.
Yeah, and then also, for those of you who haven't looked at the schedule, there won't be any ChillPoint tomorrow, because tomorrow is all Elden Ring all the time.
There's not even a Friday night paper fight tomorrow, is there?
No. Starting at 11 o'clock and going until
Whenever they're finished. Really.
whenever they're finished. Yeah.
Everyone fire up your finger maidens.
So
The next day at 1:00 is Escape from Tarkov. So they have until then, I guess.
Yeah.
So for all of you who like to joke that our content gets supplanted by Magic the Gathering content all the time, now you've found the one true thing that can supplant Magic.
Yeah.
Elden Ring from Soft Games.
From Soft Games. As far as I got into writing a joke for CheckPoint, is that the Elden Ring subreddit has been having a series of meltdowns over the past couple weeks because they can't play Elden Ring yet. And, you know...
I guess it's tomorrow, technically. Huh?
Yeah, and they were like, all right, everybody, okay, the review embargo is about to drop. Everyone, don't be a bunch of troglodytes. Please, everyone, just like... If someone does a review that doesn't fawn over the game, please don't be an asshole. So as far as I got writing a joke is like, thus far, it's one of the best reviewed games of all time, and so many gamers have had to like take the death threats they had been drafting and file them back away for later.
It's
just
okay.
waiting to fill in the journalist's name.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure
Yeah.
they've got a blank slate.
Yeah. Like
put,
Mad Libs.
Put game name here.
Yeah.
Put character name here.
I'm just imagining that subreddit, like, they should just, like, tomorrow, they should just, like, go private. Just be like, you know, in the same way that, like, in Japan, like, when Dragon Quest comes out, it's like a holiday.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, when Elden Ring comes out, the Elden Ring subreddit is just, like,
Well, many of them won't
tumble.
Yeah, many of them won't be there because they'll be playing the game and avoiding spoilers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
What's the game that lets Slur have a holiday? We have an internal game that we shut down for.
It's, I mean, no,
I mean, I guess Elden Ring is closed because only Adam and Wheeler are coming into work tomorrow.
yeah, we all get holidays tomorrow. It's... I feel
It's harder
like
when you're a streamer, right?
yeah, I think like the equivalent is when like with stuff like, you know, or Elden Ring or
Desert Bus.
Dark Souls. I mean, Desert Bus.
To an extent.
I guess the channel takes a holiday.
Yeah, I think the channel's the only thing that takes a holiday during Desert Bus. Oh, that is not a vacation time.
Oh, sorry if I'm louder than we're different distances away from the microphone.
I'm trying to speak up because I'm in the back.
Anyway, yeah, you have to. Usually that's where Bij is, and
He doesn't have a problem with it.
he's soft-spoken.
Loving quiet beach.
So, let's talk about some of the start. So, even though there isn't a checkpoint this week, I still marked a bunch of stories because we weren't sure whether there would be or not. And also, as I always say, I've been marking stories for Checkpoint or ENN for like 15 years every week.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a habit. Even if we don't have a show.
Even if there's no news that week, there's generally at least 4 things marked.
So, starting with Final Fantasy XIV is so for one thing, Final Fantasy XIV, which if you don't know has been extremely successful, not only like as a game, but specifically over the past like 6 months, has been ridiculously successful to the point where
They had to shut it down.
they had to shut down new
Yeah.
like it's supposed to be a
Don't they
Free-
constantly run out of room for people to have houses?
yeah
Pretty sure
that's
that's a
one
thing,
that
too.
yeah, but there's the meme about it's free to play for the first however many levels or whatever.
Level 60.
They had to stop that for a while because it was so popular that none of the servers were open.
They had to stop the whole meme?
Oh no, they didn't stop the meme. It just they stopped working. But
Okay.
but anyway, they just we're talking about this week about they're going to be doing a over the next updates. They're going to be doing a big visual upgrade to the game. Not making it like They specified that they're not going to make it like realistic.
Okay, good.
They want to make it, better looking within the style of the game.
Is it?
So like
Can that be improved on? I mean, I haven't watched a lot of it, but I've seen some of it, and it looks pretty already.
I mean I'll switch over to.
How much prettier can you make this game?
This looks.
I mean, this is an example they have here. It's
To
just
me-
basically like a lighting change.
I was gonna say,
really.
to me, this looks exactly the same, but with a better lighting.
Yeah, and so
Okay,
a combination
alright.
of say high res, different shaders, I guess, and stuff.
I guess it is higher res. Okay, yeah,
And,
I
like,
can
the
see
hair
that
and
the
stuff.
eyes have nicer texture. Okay.
But the reason why they're talking about doing this is that to me the banner headline for this is that they have said that they are going to continue supporting Final Fantasy 14 for the next 10 years.
Wow,
I mean, it's a very popular
planning on
game.
doing
There's
it.
no real reason for them to not. Currently,
I feel like I'm just thinking about like in 10 years, we're already at what Final Fantasy 16 is coming out, the next
Eventually.
single player one.
Eventually, yeah.
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 15 was tremendously delayed.
Right. And 16 has probably been as well because of pandemic stuff. But I'm just thinking that like in 10 years we'll be at like whatever Final Fantasy 20 or 25 or something.
Yeah.
Will the online game that people are playing still be Final Fantasy 14 at that point?
I mean, they could.
Like, I
they
feel
could
like-
blow it up again if they wanted.
I don't know why they didn't just call it like Final Fantasy Online.
Everyone questioned that at the time. Everyone questioned that with Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't that the tagline for 11.
Well, it's like Final Fantasy
But it
11
was still
online.
numbered.
Yeah.
Okay,
It ought not to have been.
right. That's fair.
Yeah.
How long has 14 been? Okay, when did they explode 14 and make it good?
When did Realm Reborn release?
Yeah,
I don't know.
A while ago.
because if it's already been like going for like nearly a decade, I'm kind of like, oh well, let's just say
2013.
yeah. So
August
it's-
24th, 2013, yeah.
to say that it's going to go for another 10 years at least.
I mean, WoW is still
especially
going?
popular, then
They say Final Fantasy 11 is apparently still supported too. So
Wow.
oh, well,
I kind of
good-
thought
good
that
for
that
them.
was like a transition, but maybe not. So, fair play to them. And from everything I understand, Final Fantasy 14 is great. Like everyone seems to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
All the people who play it. And one of the interesting things about it is that, in some ways, it is actually like it's Final Fantasy 14 online, and it's got this MMO stuff. But there's a lot of parts of it that you can just play, kind of like a normal Final Fantasy game.
Just sort of
Solo?
on your own.
And they've actually they added some stuff a little while ago to make it so that you could do raids. Some of the raids could be done solo that weren't previously
cool.
solo. Like you could basically an AI party joins you.
Oh, cool.
And one of the big update is that they've added a bunch more the trust system that allows a solo player to tackle main scenario dungeons with a squad of non-player characters is going to be expanding.
I don't like the name.
That's a weird name.
don't-
Yeah.
But all right.
To me, that the trust system you think that would be what you're playing with real people.
Yeah.
Just any video game company that's like, hey, don't worry, we've initiated the trust system, and I'm like, nope,
No.
nope. That's like asking me to fall back into your arms, Square Enix, and I will not.
I realized there actually was another story that I wanted to mention that wasn't on your list, and I'd forgotten about it until just now, because it sort of relates to this. Because a couple of folks in chat have mentioned that Square Enix also said that they'd be continue to support the Avengers game because they published it, right?
Yeah,
The Avengers
that E3 conference was terrible.
Yes, their Avengers Live service that sucks. We've talked before about how Square Enix makes abysmally unattainable sales predictions.
Right. This is the Marvel game.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Marvel Avengers game.
So
So it's
this
actually
is-
like relatively well reviewed.
Suicide Squad. So that or
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Sorry.
Sorry, right. I'm thinking
I don't know why I said
yeah.
Suicide Squad. So, but here's the thing. So, Avengers came out, sucked. Then they were like, and we're doing this Guardians game that looked
basically the same.
Look, this because it was in the same way that no one in the Avengers game borrowed heavily from the visual style and art direction of the MCU without any of the character likenesses.
Right.
And Guardians did very much the same thing.
Right. So it was like all the characters from the MCU, but not actually looking the way they should.
Yeah, so it looked like a weird knockoff thing.
Yeah, except that Guardians is a single-player narrative game from the team that made the new Deus Ex games.
Right.
With their third one canceled, which I'm still mad about. So this is what they've been working on instead. And apparently, the Guardians game, I mean, Matt played it on his stream.
Yeah,
apparently, it's honestly really good. Mm-hmm. But they sort of own gold themselves because people...
it's so tainted by the
Avengers.
Yeah.
And also, they set ridiculous sales targets, and then they're like, oh, geez, the Guardians game really underperformed.
Yep.
And it's like,
sold,
you thought it would sell millions of copies, you idiots.
You know, the Avengers game also has a solo game mode that focuses on, I think it's Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
That's actually supposed to be fairly decent.
Which
but
is
all
clearly
of their,
what Insomniac wanted to make.
But all of their advertising is about the Avengers multiplayer thing and how you can continue to buy things, and that's the thing everyone really hated about it.
Like, to be honest, my impression, like, I thought it was like a little, like, a mobile game.
Yeah.
That it was like some sort of, you pay to win mobile game.
And the Guardians game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Foxmar is correct. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Square Enix set a silly high sales target for Tomb Raider, if you remember, and it's like it sold phenomenally well and it underperformed. But this isn't like a Hollywood accounting thing. It's just
Square Enix has I always think about that I forget what year it was, but the year that Square Enix brought out Tomb Raider, Sleeping Dogs, and some other game.
Right, Hitman. Sorry.
And, it was they brought out like 3 games that were like in everyone's top 10.
Yeah.
And they were like they had to issue like an earnings warning that they were like not happy. And it was like, guys, if your game has to be like one of the top selling games of all time to break even, then you've got a problem.
Yeah, and they did the same thing with Hitman. They were like, it's going to sell this many. It didn't. So they sold Hitman off, and the latest version was published by someone else, and it did very well. It's like,
I mean,
what's wrong with you?
The Avengers, it reminds me a little bit of the game I was just playing on Play It Forward, Immortals: Phoenix Rising, which is like a really good, very polished game, but like I feel like everyone thought it looked like just sort of like this sort of quick kind of cash grab thing. It came out a month after Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Right.
And got like very little promotion. Mm-hmm. And it just looked like this, like, oh, it's just like some random Ubisoft thing or some like thing that in Ubisoft didn't
Breath
really...
of the Wild, whatever.
Yeah.
They also went over a name change, which I think was the biggest amount of media it got on
it's like super polished. It's got, all sorts of really well done mechanics in it. All this stuff that's like a lot of heart went into this game, but it just like didn't get the sort of mind share.
Yeah.
Have you seen the thing going around right now with what is it? Horizon Zero Dawn came out, but got killed off by Breath of the Wild, and then Horizon Forbidden West came out and was like, okay,
with Elden Ring stuff.
There's no Zelda around. Great, I'm gonna be safe. And then Elden Ring just like
Does Judge
timing is hard when it comes to that kind of.
Judge Siwi, did you work on Phoenix Rising? I'm inferring from the we tried hard there. You did.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Neat.
What did you do? You don't have to answer that, but I'm curious.
But yeah, as everyone says, Genshin Impact and it's like this. It seemed like because it was kind of lumped into the same thing as Genshin Impact and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mobile game of the year, Genshin Impact.
The stuff about like people breaking their consoles over Genshin Impact though is like,
Oh, the UI.
So
Oh, UI is so much fun.
Immortals Phoenix Rising, as opposed to Genshin Impact, Immortals Phoenix Rising, obviously it did have, there was some paid DLC things. And while theoretically it had like paid in-game currency where you could like get new outfits and stuff.
Yeah.
At least when I played, it didn't, because that didn't like. I was like curious, and I went into the store and on the last thing, and the store was just like empty. Like there was nothing to buy. Like it was just didn't load, or like there's nothing to buy. So it's like I guess that solves the like in-app purchase stuff. Just have the store there, but have nothing in it.
I will say to Judge Siwi, who says, I know I'm Ubisoft and it gets hate, but our team poured a lot of love into it. We don't usually have time to articulate this full thought every time we do a story about Ubisoft, but like I have problems with Ubisoft the company and certainly the executives and the high-level
higher
management. Never the developers, never the employees.
And Activision, Blizzard,
Same deal.
is Electronic Arts, all these companies.
Riot. There are so many good people. I have friends who work at Riot. Like there are very good people who work at all these companies who are consistently let down by the people at the top.
and to be fair, we don't even hate the games that get made. We like them. That's actually part of the problem.
That's the annoying part.
It's like, I'm super stoked for Mario Rabbids 2.
Yeah. I'll admit, I wasn't like, I wasn't, all the ads for like Far Cry 6, I wasn't like, I really need to play that. Only because it's like, this is, I don't need to play a new Far Cry right now.
But you'll disappoint the bad guy because you'll let him win.
Oh, right. I hated that.
I firstly thought it was funny.
Those emails.
I'm excited for Final Fantasy having solo play. Maybe one day I'll actually play it.
Yeah,
I
well,
won't.
you've got 10 years. You've got a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. I got so much time to get to that. Oh, good. This is exactly why I wanted Graham here today.
Yes, I'm so excited for this.
So, if anybody here, actually, this is a good. This image is a good illustration. Anybody played the or is a fan of the Street Fighter series knows that they have a certain style of logo that they've been using throughout the years throughout the dozens and dozens of games that have come out. Mm-hmm. They decided to switch that up with Street Fighter 6, this is apparently the logo for Street Fighter 6 there on the right.
I mean, I understand Hexagon.
Compare and contrast to the ones on the side there.
It's so generic is the problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Like, in general, the, like, logo sans serif name underneath is, like, very tired 5 years ago, right? This is, like, ignoring the fact that you're about to see that it is frighteningly similar to a piece of Adobe stock graphics. It's just so generic. And there's, like, a cut out of the top of the F on the right. Like, it's not a clean line across the top of the F.
So, because when you look at the other one, what I feel like happened is because there's a bit more spacing between the hexagon shape and the S and F.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like they traced a hexagon around it, or they like cut some stuff out of it and maybe missed.
Yeah.
Because I've used Photoshop. I miss occasionally, and I'm like,
that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
So, what's funnier is I was thinking about like if you didn't have like if you cover the bottom. Wait here. Let me quickly.
Oh, I can't wait to see what's gonna.
Wait, where's the? Oh, I don't have the
whiteboard.
Oh, this computer doesn't have the just color source loaded. Anyway, say you just hide the lower part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What game my first thought is San Francisco Rush.
Yeah, I do. My brain does want to do San Francisco
Yeah.
because of the S and the F, but
The
Sonic Forces.
it looks like, yeah, I would say San Francisco, like, it looks like a Need for Speed game.
yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like a car game, like something Forza.
Super Forza.
Yeah, for the Super Nintendo. Like, it's just Frostpunk. Yeah, it's actually, the logo has a similar style to Frostpunk.
Oh, I haven't actually, I'm gonna look that up. Oh, Satisfactory, that's good. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Super Forza Brothers.
Do you know the worst thing about this story, in my opinion?
Please.
So they revealed this a week or so ago. Capcom put up a countdown website that would last a whole week,
Right.
with this countdown timer, and of course, the moment that happens, everyone's just like, "Oh, let me think of all the things I would actually love to have." Right? Because you've not put anything on there. You're just like, hey, something special will happen in a week. And Capcom doesn't have all the things that I want, but they do have Ace Attorney. So I try to be like, no, it's not going to be that, because that would be silly, but maybe. And the countdown timer finishes, and it's just like Street Fighter 6 with this logo. I'm like, wait, you did a week-long countdown timer for a teaser that you're going to tell us more info in the summer? You did a teaser for a teaser? Oh, I hate this PR move.
Speaking of Capcom countdowns, there's a story. I don't actually mark it as a story, but there's a thing. Resident Evil. Their thought is that they're going to be doing a redo, like a graphical update on some of the Resident Evil games.
Okay.
Which, now that I'm thinking about it, they already did do recently, or maybe not the first one. I don't know. Anyway,
There's so many different versions.
but they did a countdown thing for, like, their website, like the promotional website being updated
Oh yeah.
with, like, new art assets, but, like, no actual announcement of a game.
You can't just do that.
I don't like teasers for teasers.
The company that cried countdown.
The 6 has like the hard corners, like something on a jersey.
Yeah, that is a football jersey number right there.
Yeah, and what's annoying, can you actually go back to that for a second, is that all the other logos on the right, they're consistent, but they get better. Like the Street Fighter V logo is the coolest, right? They have 20 years of a visual design, of a visual shorthand here, that it's like, that's Street Fighter.
Like this, any of these, like if in, for whatever reason, in this octagon or hexagon, they had like this S and this F, right?
Yeah,
You would be immediately Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the even or like this S and this F, it wouldn't really fit in
Street Fighter
in the
5.
hexagon very well. But
Also, as people point out, it's Roman numerals up until 6.
right.
It's like the hard left turn into like the non-Roman numerals.
The Street Fighter 5
6
logo
is always a
looks
tricky one in Roman numerals, because you get. I mean, 4 is also bad, but
the Street Fighter 5 logo looks like Mario Strikers to me.
it does look a
I
little
thought
bit.
the Mario Strikers logo looked like a Street Fighter logo,
Oh well,
or whatever it's
we're in
worth.
different
Yeah.
fandoms.
Anyway, look, I don't love it, and the main in a vacuum, it's actually not terrible. It's just that it feels nothing like Street Fighter. As someone in chat just said, this logo makes me think I have skill points to spend.
Also, by the way, I've never noticed this before. Maybe it's just because this is a different version of the Street Fighter 2 logo, but Street Fighter 2 apostrophe. It's like, what's the apostrophe for?
Is it meant to be like a sonic boom?
Yeah,
I think it's supposed.
Guiles.
Yeah.
Styles thing, I guess. I don't know.
I like the Street Fighter 4 logo.
Flying Dutchman says, so is this the year of
Very
medium
messy.
to bad logo decisions? Can we see what that link is? Oh, yes, the new Kia logo. That's
Right.
The new Kia logo is a hell of a choice.
I mean,
it looks bad just in monocolor on a thing. It looks kind of cool on a Kia. The first time I saw it was on a car, and I was like, oh, okay. On paper, and I mean like literally on paper, it looks sort of unreadable.
I mean the logos becoming more minimal and stuff. That's been okay. That's been a thing
Yeah.
that's happening for like 15 years.
So was it Bandai Namco keeps updating their logo and you can barely tell?
With tiny
It's-
tweaks.
They changed the color.
Oh,
It went
right.
from like it was like
It went from interesting to weird.
it was like red to pink or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. They changed it slightly.
But like, I mean, every time they update it, I have to look at the before and after and like, and which one did you run out of ink?
yeah.
Is
Also worth noting, I have not actually seen the picture, but apparently they released a photo of Ryu from Street Fighter 6, which Ben Ulmer described as looking like in Shrek 2, where Shrek turns
Oh,
into a
right.
human. He
Human
said he looks
Shrek.
like human Shrek.
It's I was actually going to mark that as a story because it's people are calling it like wide Ryu. 'Cause it's just like. "Brr." I was gonna mark that as a story, and then I was reading like some of the like people tweeting and commenting about it. People being like, look at how wide Ryu is, and then people being like, he's been that way since like Street Fighter 3.
Yeah, no, he's always a big dude.
He's a wide man.
He's a wide man. It's just
And
apparently
it's
he
just
looks-
like the style that Street Fighter games are now. It's
Yeah.
just everybody is like a square.
yeah.
They're from the Gears of War universe.
Hmm.
PlayStation VR 2.
Ooh.
Boogaloo.
Yeah. Boogaloo your electricness. Actually looks pretty sweet, to be honest.
I'm tempted. I was tempted before,
Looks pretty.
but now I have a PS5, so now I'm very tempted.
And in terms of, a thing that to run
will-
VR games in the sense that, you already have the PS5. And it looks pretty like some of the some of the features. It's got stuff for like you can easily change the pupillar distance and stuff, so it works better with people with different depending on how wide apart your eyes are.
I wonder, is
Which
that
is
like
a-
an automatic setting? Because I'm kind of curious how messed up.
It's like adjustment on the side, I think.
I'm curious if we could make the system get messed up by Beach's eyes.
I believe that is a removable wire. I think. I don't know actually.
The what? Well, no. There's a wire.
Yeah, but do you plug it into charge and then have it free, or is the
No,
cable always
it
attached?
plugs into the PS5.
Okay.
Like the PS5 runs it.
Okay.
So there's only one wire, which is already an improvement. But and there's no like tracking things that you have to put around your place.
Yeah. So I constantly knock my headphones wire off my head in the middle of just living. So I assume that at some point something scary will happen because they'll do some sort of Resident Evil game. I'll go like this, and then everything will be pitch black and scarier.
I mean, wireless VR is a tough one. Like either you have to make the device itself the PC, which is heavy.
I mean, it looks like a light cable, which is nice because I've
Yeah,
tried
they're trying to
the-
minimize it as much as possible.
the one that Ian and Corey bring in every now and then. It's the Oculus or
No, they've got a
what
Vive.
they
I
have,
think.
right? They have a
Vive.
Vive, and it really does feel very heavy on the back of your head.
Yeah.
But the other one sounds pretty awesome is it's got a 110 degree field of view,
Wow.
which is one of the higher ones that I've seen. Because to me, like in the little bit of VR stuff that I've experimented with the Vive and different things, to me that was always the thing that like really took me out of it. Like it felt like you were sort of looking at VR through like portholes, like you were sort of
like a viewfinder.
Yeah, well, you sort of obviously had no peripheral vision.
Yeah.
And so 110 degrees is pretty darn good.
2000 by 2040 resolution per eye.
Yeah.
Dang.
Can we get one for the office? Because I enjoy turning the game screen off and only the green screen on when Ian's playing games. It's fun for me and the chat.
Ooh. Sony laid out a manufacturing method that could end the problem of crepuscular ray lens flares. I do love crepuscular as a word.
That is,
Yeah.
that sounds
It's a good one.
awful.
I don't get to use it very often.
Something bad is happening.
Yeah. It's very crepuscular.
Haven't set the price yet or the release date, so who knows?
It'll be a lot and not soon.
What do you think? More expensive than a PS5 or less expensive than a PS5?
It's gonna be less expensive than the console, surely. What did a PSVR go for originally? I imagine it'll be comparable.
Yeah. The new system has vents to allow for air cooling
Oh, thank God.
to avoid having the lenses fog up. Seems
Good, because I'm a sweaty boy.
And the little like the sort of basket handle controllers seem like kind of a neat setup too.
Yeah. Now if I accidentally punch someone, they won't hit my fist first.
Yeah, they'll get hurt, but you'll be fine.
Yeah. Boxing gloves.
I mean, the obviously the big downside with a console one like this is that you're limited to what's on the console, rather than a PC version where you like a PC type one where you have a lot more flexibility. But
Yeah, but the problem I have with some of the PC ones is generally stuff like the Oculus forcing you to have like a Facebook account.
that's that. There is
which
that
I
problem
don't
too.
know if they're still
I
doing
mean,
that or not.
You obviously have to have a Sony account for this, but you have to have that for your PS5 anyway.
Yeah, that to me that's kind of like you've already bought into this market
Yeah.
thing, as opposed to now I have to also have a social network, know all the games that I'm playing, that is connected to family members who will now know all the games that I'm playing. That kind of thing.
Doop doop boop boop. I don't know. Ian might have an opinion about this. SD Gundam Battle Alliance
They're so cute.
is an upcoming
Little Gundams.
is the next Gundam game, I guess. There's lots. But what I thought was interesting is that it will be it will have Gundams from 25 different Gundam series.
There are 25 different Gundam series?
They're more than
I think
25.
There's way
Yeah.
more than that, actually. Well, he'll be pleased about Iron-Blooded Orphans because I think he likes that, but he will hate Gundam Seed.
This article on Nintendo Life. Based on the huge multimedia Mobile Suit Gundam property, often described as Japan's Star Wars,
I've never heard it called that.
never once.
Never.
They also have Star Wars there.
Japan's.
Yep, I've never heard it called that. Not even in jest.
Yeah. Can we show them the key art?
Yeah, I think they showed this. They showed this off at the
Look at that. Look how cute that is.
the last Nintendo Direct. You get like teams of 3
Yeah.
little Gundams that walk around and do shooty shoots.
Yeah.
I guess that's what the SD part is for.
Yeah.
It's like Super Deformed Gundam.
Yeah. Generally, I think people go with chibi mostly these days, but
Chibi is the term that gets used. It's but it's still very an otaku term, so
Yeah.
I don't blame anyone who doesn't know it.
what's it called I wonder what this game is called in Japan, because I imagine that's the localized title. Like, I don't think they probably aren't calling it SD. It doesn't matter.
Well, they might be calling it SD Gundam.
Yeah.
I do know. I don't know if anyone wants to get really mad about it for some reason. Ian hates Gundam Wing.
Yandham Wing.
I liked Gundam Wing. It was one of my first anime. YTV was suddenly getting anime, and they were leaving the Japanese lyrics in the songs all of a sudden. It was weird. It's okay. I know he likes the very particular parts of Gundam, and that's good for him.
By the way, this is the sequel to SD Gundam G Generation Cross Rays. which was apparently very well reviewed for the Switch.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I feel like this is one of those video games here. Well, I mean, Gundam. I think Gundam is the case everywhere, but it's one of the video game series where like it's essentially impossible to know what order the games came out in. If they're just like each one has a random name.
Oh, like the Fast and Furious movies.
Well, those Fast and Furious movies, you can get a general gist of progression. They just you can't
Their title does not have a number in it.
you can't predict what the name is going to be, but once the names are out, you can get a general.
But they're all different at least.
Yeah.
And Beach has told me, because he's been going on a sprint of those, he's told me that they should have named the Fast and Furious 4 movie Faster and Furiouster, and they missed out on a great opportunity there, and he's got weird opinions about this series all of a sudden.
Faster and Furiouster?
Yes.
Wow.
He's not here. I get to tell on him.
You want some sweet haute couture Space Invaders knitwear? I know you do.
I mean, I do like the knitwear, but I also know how much money it's selling for, and
You can see it.
Also, I'm not really big on shoulderless sweaters.
No. What?
Yeah.
It looks like it's supposed to be like a vest, and she's just not putting her arms through the holes.
I mean, is there a... No, wait. No, there's holes on the sides, too.
Is that a hole?
Does she have extra arms that go through here? That's a hole. That's a hole.
Are there any other
Those
images?
are...
This is amazing.
Is she a bug lady? Does she have 6 arms? She needs the
Oh,
extra
there you
holes
go.
for her
No,
arms?
Oh, I see. So
no
it
extra
is.
holes. It's just shoulderless. And then one of them was made wrong. That one. The
Yeah.
third one across was
They just like,
improperly sewn.
Okay.
we just did it wrong. Shut up. We'll just call it a special
I'm
edition.
not big on knitted skirts personally either.
No.
But that's just a preference thing.
Imagine it shrinking, like you get caught in the rain, and it's just like...
Oh, there are
I mean,
holes
this-
on the sides.
This one is
of the
like
body
pre-shrunk,
here.
right? Like
that
if
are
you look
weird.
at like the size of the torso versus the arms, like this is like a super high.
Oh, but that's like a style to have
Mm-hmm.
like a crop top kind of. That's not my style because I have a stomach that I hate. But you know that's a thing. It's like how
Same, though.
the dress style one is super long.
Yeah, right. So many, and also extremely expensive because that's
I mean, well,
if
that's how
it's
that's how haute couture works.
yeah, if it's something this like weird looking, it's got to be either really cheap or really expensive. So
I think it's
Also-
both, depending on which end of the process you're on.
Trying to remember, if,
but it's either like $10
Are
or
the pink ones fuzzy?
Yeah.
The pink and purple ones are fuzzy.
yeah, they're made with a fuzzier yarn.
oh, you're right, and the peach ones.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
peach ones and the purple ones are fuzzy.
Also,
and the like the
got a sparkle yarn in there.
yeah.
Did they actually list this as haute couture or just couture? Because haute couture is a lot like champagne, except harder because you have to belong to specific, like a house and do like specific shows and stuff in
This
order
is-
to. You pay a lot of money to get that label.
Yeah, this is Stella McCartney, so I don't know what they're.
Stella McCartney's Japanese arm with its bare shoulder. This is my Japanese arm. What happens when you click on that link?
This one?
Yeah. Is this Stella McCartney's Japanese website? It is. Look at that.
Welcome to following random links
I accept
Well,
your cookies.
well,
please,
live.
Please go to the,
Oh, here we go. We can see
the
actually.
full thing.
We can
I
actually
want to see.
see.
I
like,
want
the
to see
full,
if there's more photos of this thing. Okay. Huh.
Oh, those shoes. No. Sorry.
I feel like it needs
Oh, that's like a
belt.
with the.
Yeah.
Well, the shoes have.
What is happening on? Yeah.
Oh, the back doesn't have Space Invaders all the way around. Interesting.
You're safe.
See,
They do have
it's got
holes.
side holes.
It
Why?
does have side
Why
holes.
does it have a sweater
Speed
side hole?
holes.
What is it for?
So you
It's
go
so-
faster.
No, it's so you can. It's like in a lab coats, they've got the slash thing, so you can put your hand in your like or like an overall. It's so you can like have your hand in your pocket.
That
you
is
can put
too.
something into your
That
pocket.
is too high for a pocket thing. That has to be lower.
Oh no.
I've never seen a sweater with the holes on the shoulders, never mind the size.
These
I wanna know
I know
what
these
they're
shoes
for.
aren't actually like part of the outfit, but the shoes have they're like the things that you have on the bottom of they're like
Of,
the
like,
leveling
furniture,
they're
yeah.
like leveling feet.
They are. They
So
really are.
so she could like change the size of her heels a little
You've
bit.
got one leg that's slightly shorter than the other.
Yeah.
I hope they work that way.
Wow.
I have so many questions about the design of the sweater, and it has nothing to do with the Space Invaders.
Mostly the question is just like, why? So it's
To be-
it's a sweater and a skirt, or a sweater or a dress are the
Yeah.
options. Okay.
Like, to be honest, this one probably looks like I kind of get how that looks.
Yeah, I don't mind an asymmetrical sweater. I own a couple. Not to that
Well-
not to that extreme.
But the interesting thing, like the way the pattern is on this. Oh, it's not just the pattern,
Yeah, it's the name as well as on an angle.
and the actual bottom of
Yeah,
the.
it's all
you go to
slanted.
those
So
pictures?
this only works as long as you always keep your left hand in your pocket to look
Well,
like it balances out.
So you know, in Animal
It's
Crossing,
her
they've
right.
got-
That's fine. That's my phone pocket.
They've
Yeah.
got they've got like that sloppy series of
Oh, yeah.
this kind of makes me think of that, where it's just like you're going for a very specific look that you've cultivated but also looks like you don't care.
But yeah, like it looks like this side is pushed up because she has her hand in her pocket,
No.
but it's actually
But
not.
without the scrunchiness of the actual sweater.
Yeah, yeah.
It does look like it was a mistake. Like there's a seam
There's
up
a
the
seam.
middle.
Yeah, where the side would go.
And like
Oh, the
this
construction
part
of that
the,
would be weird.
anyway.
What is that? That's not Space Invaders, is it? That's just a different thing? Okay, that's just a different thing.
Yeah.
So that's not a crop sweater? Could you scroll down again to the sweater? That's not...
Well,
No, it's not. It's just got... It's the arms... No, it's not a crop sweater.
Oh,
it's
it's-
just got impractically long arms.
Well, I mean, I would say she maybe just has impractically long arms.
No, but the sweater
Yes.
comes down to her fingers.
Again, nothing
how I
on the
wear all of
back.
my clothes.
Except that the
No, but,
skirt
like-
does have stuff on the back, but not.
Looking at just the sweater, we assumed there'd be like wrist length sleeves and a crop, like waistband.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just both of. It's a normal waistband and long arms.
It's
mean,
a sweater for gorillas.
It looks comfortable. Or people who don't like to have their hands out because they get cold. It
Yeah.
looks comfortable, but
With all the with the random holes in the other one, they should just have like the thumb holes.
I'm surprised this one doesn't have her name on it though, like the others do.
yeah.
And if you're wearing the skirt, having it no Space Invaders on the back seems weird. Oh, there's a close up
yeah,
of
see, the
the.
peach ones are fuzzy, and
the
the pink
fuzzy.
ones are fuzzy.
Yeah, and it looks like the green ones have a bit of a
The green and the blue have like a little bit of sparkle.
like a little
almost.
sparkle in it.
Wow.
I like the use of different yarns. That's neat.
To be honest,
I
we
like
got
those shoes a lot better too.
we've gotten more content out of this thing than I was expecting.
It's funny.
I mean, I just so many questions about holes on the sides of my shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, speed
it's-
holes on shirts.
So
Is,
someone
just-
can sneak up behind you and go, tick, tick, tick.
it's true. It makes your
Stop.
sides vulnerable.
It's just
My phone.
if a pair of arms came out of those holes, I wouldn't question it.
It's true. Yeah, it's for armed people.
Yeah.
How about we have a Wordle weird version story, just for old times' sake?
Oh, good
one last Wordle strange version
Yeah.
story
Promise?
for the road.
You
Why not?
promise?
I don't promise that.
Dang
No.
it.
Because you can have Windle,
Okay.
which is Wordle for Windows 3.1.
Oh, Windows 3.1. I remember you fondly.
Why?
Because it's there. So what's great about this is it is like it's not just like it looks like it's for Windows 3.1. It is actually for Windows 3.1.
Nice.
It was programmed in Windows 3.1. The person who programmed it deliberately programmed it in a Windows 3.1
Virtual machine.
no, I believe they used a Gateway 2000 with 66 megahertz. They actually used a Windows 3.1 computer.
3.11 for work groups.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they used the Borland Delphi development environment. Apparently running on the original hardware help expose issues that may not have been evident in a virtualized copy.
Oh my goodness, you
Like for
adorable
instance,
nerd.
the system hangs when it tries to load the entire dictionary into memory. They also the person also spent a bunch of effort to make it look like the Microsoft Entertainment Pack, like the pack-in games for Windows 3.1, like Jazzball and Minesweeper
Oh, Jazzball.
and Rodent's Revenge.
No
Jazzball. Hell yes. I hadn't thought about Jazzball in years. That was like the only thing we could play in our elementary school library.
Jezz. Jazz.
I was trying really hard to pronounce
Yes.
that E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot of love for Jazzball. It also runs in Windows 95 and 98.
I saw a TikTok this morning of someone who had Windows, I guess 10 or 11. They had the newest version of Windows with a virtual machine running Windows 7, inside which they had a virtual machine running Windows XP, inside which they had a virtual machine running Windows 98.
Just
For no reason.
what did they have running in Windows 98?
Well, the comments had a lot of suggestions, but that's as far as they got. So that was pretty cool.
did you have Bob?
Bob? Oh, like Microsoft Bob?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I really liked Bob. Helped me learn all my geography.
We did not have, but we used, we had Encarta. Yeah, Busted. Encarta.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That was sweet. It had like, I think Encarta was like my first introduction to like QuickTime VR movies. Like QuickTime Panorama movies where you can like, whoa!
If you're just joining us, like Pendle is, the reason this is happening now is because there's no checkpoint this week, but this is ordinarily when we would be recording it, and there won't be one of these tomorrow because it's Elden Ring Day.
Elden.
Da-da-da.
A whole day
Yeah.
Yep.
or 8 hours, which I mean, you need the other 8 hours for sleep and the other 8 hours for eating. So yeah, that takes up all your time.
Slow eating.
Oh, Rock Pusher, I didn't have Encarta. I didn't have a computer. The school had Encarta. Well, I had a Commodore
right.
64.
Or like libraries.
Yeah.
I remember the school got the Da Vinci Code, not the Da Vinci Code, this Da Vinci game, where you
Yeah, this
you
was
had to build
pre Da Vinci Code, I think.
you had to build like things and you could fly to places, and it was
Yeah.
supposed to be learning, and it was like on the one library computer the
Yeah.
library had. We had Macs for the longest time that were really old, and then we got one Mac in color, and it was the one everybody wanted to get in on, but it took 10 times longer to load. It wasn't any different than our other Macs.
Nice. Speaking of the Commodore 64,
Nothing makes me feel more like I'm in Commodore Hustle than when your ringtone goes off.
Call of Duty.
What about
So, yeah, you know, we've been talking about Call of Duty 2042.
Battlefield?
Battlefield 2042.
Okay, cool.
Different
Call of
deal.
Duty.
Right.
I mean, you could
the
tell
newest-
me.
I don't
you
know.
could tell me there's Call of Duty with that name, and I'd believe
Right,
you.
it's Call of Duty Vanguard is the new one.
That's the one.
Is the latest one. Anyway, apparently Call of Duty Vanguard hasn't been as successful as they were hoping. And it's possible, I'm not saying this is definitely the case, it's possible that part of the reason why Call of Duty Vanguard hasn't been as successful as they might have wanted is that there has been a new Call of Duty game every year since 2005.
That's
That's
a
long.
lot.
Seems
That's
like
longer than a lot of the
more
recurring
than-
sports franchises.
seems like way more than necessary.
So, and because they have this like three 3 studio cycle that they've been doing,
Okay, all right.
where Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and
Sledgehammer.
I think
It used to be
uh
Sledgehammer.
yeah, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer each do one every 3 years.
That sounds exhausting.
So they decided to take one. So after the whatever 18 years, they're gonna or 19 years, they're gonna take 1 year off. So there will be no Call of Duty in 2023.
I don't think they're taking the year off so much as they're getting an extra year to work on all their stuff.
Yeah. Which theoretically I believe is the Treyarch one. So I don't know whether it's like Treyarch gets 2 years to develop theirs, or 1 year more to develop theirs, or whether they're like just skipping over Treyarch or what. But
this worked well for this worked well for Assassin's Creed. When they
True.
were like, we're going to stop making them every year, and then the next one that they made was like they've been pretty consistently good since they got off the treadmill.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean they've still been doing them every like 2 years.
I honestly
think, 2
do
or 3
think
years.
that if you're making an incredibly large game, you don't need to be trying to make an incredibly large game yearly.
Well, it's also the Call of Duty games are. I mean, they have a single player component, but a lot of the push for the Call of Duty games is the online aspect.
Yeah, and I would think with
And having
multiplayer,
everyone has to
swap
be-
to a new game once a
yeah.
year seems like a lot. I don't think sports games need to do it either, but I
So anyway, yeah, do like Activision. They've said that this is nothing to do with the Microsoft buyout
sure.
and but all the other.
and nothing to do with
Bull
people
honky.
like doing protests and
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it has
Totally
nothing to do with
unrelated.
any of that. I'm sure that doesn't delay your time management at all.
Can I make a segue?
Oh, sure.
All right. Speaking of formerly annual franchises taking a year off, you ever wanted to beat the piss out of Machine Gun Kelly? Good news. They've announced that Machine Gun Kelly will be a playable character in WWE 2K 2022. Because they
2K22.
sorry 2K22. Pardon me. So they took a year off of the WWE games because WWE 20 was very bad, and they untethered from the previous developer, who is now, by the way, making a very promising looking game for AEW. And now they have they're working on 2K22, and in the same way that this is a thing 2K likes to do, where they get like some named person to like help curate the soundtrack. It's very wanky. It's like no one cares. Anyway, apparently Machine Gun Kelly is the one doing it for them for this year. And because he was on an episode once where he got powerbombed by Kevin Owens, he's now in the
technically,
game.
along with Drew Carey and whoever else he's now technically a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's supplying a couple songs for it, and then also curating the list.
Yeah.
I don't have any strong opinions about Machine Gun Kelly myself, but
He's just... Yeah.
I assume that all of his music will absolutely get flagged on YouTube if you try to stream the game with it.
He used to be a rapper, and he made a diss track at Eminem, so Eminem responded and absolutely dusted the shit out of him. So he hasn't made rap since, and now he makes...
he literally just like
he
destroyed his career.
Eminem destroyed him so bad he hasn't made rap since, and so now he's back. He's become media relevant because he
Funny how there's no Eminem songs in this
weird.
Curated list.
How Megan Fox, he's dating Megan Fox. They'd done a couple weird interviews about it. There was a meme. There was a viral meme around like from the interview, how when they met, she was like, "Are you on weed?" To which he responded, "I am weed," which I think the answer is yes. And then he's been making sort of like pretty generic and not very good pop rock songs recently, including a just a absolutely direly boring cover of Paramore's Misery Business. So, yeah,
Yes,
I don't know. I don't care about Machine Gun Kelly, but I figured some people might be sick of him enough that they'd be like, oh, I can beat him up. All right, cool.
Does he get to bring a machine gun into the ring? As like his then that could be like his finisher.
That's probably not allowed, but it is a video game. So I'm more interested to know who else is actually on this roster, because since they started developing this game, WWE has fired like 200 wrestlers. So
Presumably none of those.
Yeah.
Well,
Can you imagine working on the game, being like, oh yeah, we have all these people in it. Oh, they just fired all those. I guess we'll take them out.
yeah.
Could you stop firing people and taking people out of our game? We're running out of a list.
I mean, of course, the real thing that's important is we got to figure out how good the custom wrestler maker is. And
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I suppose the WWE games don't have the controversy of Smash and having too many sword users.
Not enough. Not enough. They need more sword users.
why is, yeah, they could easily fit Waluigi in WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great, actually.
Put Marth in WWE 2K22, you cowards.
Nier Automata is getting an anime adaptation,
Oh boy.
Is it getting all the endings?
which I find significant, mostly because in the back of my mind, I thought it already had an anime adaptation.
No, that was just the video game. It's very anime looking.
That is true.
Like, I love this. Square Enix, I love this. Just the little summary of the story. The animated television series will adapt the story of 2B, 9S, and A2, three combat androids in the year 11945 AD, pitted in an unrelenting war against extraterrestrial machines for the fate of humanity, whose lives are irrevocably transformed through the discovery of a terrible secret. Like,
Yeah, that sounds like an
if you,
anime.
if you didn't know
description.
that, like, there's like robots fighting an extraterrestrial threat, and then they fight, like, that's
Also, we're in a future year that is so far in the future, nobody
yeah.
cares anymore.
I feel like that's already
yeah.
a couple dozen animes.
The only thing it's missing is like naming some sort of weird noun as like a currency or a magic or some sort of thing.
Do you have to... Sorry, Nika says, do you have to unsubscribe from your streaming service at the end?
Well, I mean, I'm actually, because this game's known for having a bunch of different endings, and like if you watch anime that gets adapted from like dating games or stuff that have different endings, if it's popular enough, sometimes they will animate a variety of endings, or sometimes they'll make up their own ending because it's a different thing that they want people to do. And wouldn't it be funny if this got a different ending?
That's
or
what I was
something?
going to say, Kino. Those are the OVAs.
Yeah, I
They
guess
do,
OVAs.
they do the series, and then like the B run through the game is an OVA, and then the C
Like-
run, it goes to E, I think.
But what if this is a new ending? And so in order to see another ending, you need to watch the anime.
No.
Like it's a hack sign situation.
Oh, that's good actually.
So, sorry, I love the tweet announcing this from the Aniplex of America. Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death.
Cool.
Nier Automata announces an anime adaptation. Soon we will all die. In the meantime, here's an anime.
I hope it's good. Because anime adaptations of video games, because sometimes they're just... Sometimes what makes part of the video game really good is the fact that you're playing through it, or you have to kind of go through some battles or something to kind of earn that next story, to feel like you have that victory and stuff. And in an anime, sometimes they either overdo the fighting, so you don't really feel it, and it just feels like a lot of weirdness, or they cut the fighting and the gameplay portions out completely to a point where you're just kind of like, I guess we're over here now. Dude, why?
It does feel wording it like that in the tweet does feel very like eventually entropy will destroy the universe, rendering all human achievement ultimately meaningless. Here's a new Funko Pop.
Yeah. Why? But in the meantime, distract yourself from the horrible world that we live in.
Stare into its cold, dead eyes, but only inside the box.
I mean, it's a Yoko Taro written thing, right? Like, and he's known for weird twists and things. I wouldn't be surprised if he gave it a different ending.
That's true, yeah.
Or it just turns out to be a completely different anime.
I
all
like
of a
the
sudden for
Yoko
some
Taro is
reason.
just unabashedly weird.
He makes the voice of card games.
You what?
Voice of Cards, the Square Enix put out, like, they just put out a second one, where everything is, it's like there's a D&D game going on, but everything is card based, except you're not playing with cards. It's just you're walking along cards, like someone spread out the map in cards and they flip over. It's really cool looking.
Cool.
Is a story. So I think we've touched on this a little bit in this probably a couple of years ago now in checkpoints and stuff. But there has been an ongoing situation with NCAA, so college basketball, in video games. Because for a while there was a weird thing with like the NCAA was getting money from video games, but the players weren't getting any cut of that because of because of how the rules for NCAA are. It's like the players can't actually make any money off their own stuff. Just really weird because it's supposed to be amateur or whatever. So that has actually changed. There was some lawsuits and various things, so players are actually allowed to make money off their likeness and their stuff.
I think they still don't get paid for playing the games.
Yeah, I think that it's really weird.
It's fucking dystopian.
Yeah.
Honestly. But anyway, sorry.
So with this new change, for the first time ever, NBA 2K22 is going to have a Duke basketball star Paolo Banchero will be in NBA will be in the next update for NBA 2K22, which is the first time an active college athlete has actually appeared in the video game with their
Under their own
name and
permission?
with permission.
Wow.
And wearing the appropriate jersey and actually with their face and everything. So that's the.
It says at the beginning of the story. It says with their own name and permission, but not specifying getting paid. But further down, it does say that they signed a name, image, and likeness deal with 2K Sports.
Yeah.
So they
Right. Okay. So
he's
even
better. Actually being paid for it, which is nice.
Which is now
Which is now allowed.
Which is now allowed under the new rules. Because the new rules only came into effect last summer.
Yeah.
So yay.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. That's the main takeaway from this is as we've talked about lots of times before with these simulation style sports games, the reality of having the real players and the real teams and the real jerseys and everything is often really important for people. So it's fun that they can actually start doing that now, and presumably there will be even more coming out, and then you can have the player, because of course many players from NCAA will then move on to the NBA, so then the player can actually be in the game as they progress into the NBA, which is kind of cool.
What else we got going on?
We were talking about Horizon Forbidden West a little while ago, in the sense that they're getting a little bit overshadowed with Elden Ring. saying Elden Ring has been getting amazing reviews. Forbidden West also.
Oh yeah,
Very,
I
very
hear
good
it's
reviews.
incredibly good. So I have to play the first one at some point, so I can play this one because that's how I do games now. Also, I bought the first one, and it'd be weird to buy another sequel.
So the first patch for the game has come out. It wasn't a day one patch; it's a week one patch, I guess.
Sure.
1.05. Primarily, this patch was about fixing some graphical stuff. Apparently, HDR stuff wasn't looking right. It was like weirdly over sharpened, and so they fixed that. But as with any of these things, there are some amusing notes in the patch notes here. I thought we could just it might be fun to look on a few of these. Fixed an issue in the main quest Cradle of Echoes where Varl would wander off. So that's good.
Yeah,
So
that
Varl
part's
will
good
now stick around, I guess. I don't know who Varl is, but sometimes he just wandered off apparently. A rogue tall neck, which is like the sort of brontosaurus style.
Oh
dinosaurs.
yeah, I've seen pictures of those.
I saw them a lot in Death Stranding. Actually, they freaked me out because they're
Very tall.
randomly in Death Stranding.
Yeah.
As a cross promotional
Giraffes
thing.
are creepy. For
Oh,
the same
really?
reason.
Yeah,
From Horizon?
they're giant holograms of tall necks show up in Death Stranding as a cross promotional
That's
thing,
weird as hell.
which freaks you out because you don't actually see them in the game anyway. A rogue tall neck near the stand of the Sentinels would sometimes change the direction of its route. It has been disciplined.
Wow.
That's the patch notes.
All right.
The second chance skill should now work correctly
Nice.
Oh,
to
good.
give you a second chance, I guess. There's the other one.
Fixed a global issue where the direction of Aloy's gaze or that of certain NPCs was incorrect.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Everything
That never happens in video games.
Everything seemed fine to me.
Hello.
Are
Yes.
you looking at me? Absolutely.
Anyway,
I love little
And-
graphical errors like that when you see them.
I
They're
love
fun.
I love this. NPCs that seem to suffer from insomnia and would gather in large groups at night in settlements should act more naturally now.
So do they still suffer from insomnia?
But it's like, so there was just like at night, all the villagers would like gather in a group, chanting.
I like the idea that that's not a patch
like-
note, that's an imperative. It's
Yeah.
like, you should all act more naturally.
Yes, they're getting suspicious.
Yeah.
And also, Petra will no longer teleport into her seat inside the Chainscape Brewery if followed immediately after the initial conversation. Yeah.
Nice.
So, anyway.
I love it when I see those things because I'm like, you have a superpower and I want it. That's all that is. I want to be able to glitch through the world. Don't you?
Somebody in chat said there was. Sorry, because I've been trying to look it up. Someone said there was a new Nintendo Direct, kind of.
There's a Pokemon presentation on Sunday that they announced this morning.
Weird.
Which
Okay.
means maybe we finally find out about Pokemon Sleep or Detective Pikachu 2, which they talked about ages ago, and maybe it's definitely better than Detective Pikachu 1
All right.
because the first one's a little overly handholdy.
Or maybe Dead
it's still
Pikachu
really
2
cute.
the movie.
I mean, that would be good too, but they did say that they were working on Detective Pikachu 2, the game,
Okay.
and it would have a different thing from the movie as an ending.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut in. I was just like, I was trying to find out what they were talking about.
It'll be on Nintendo's Twitter.
Okay.
Now, if you're playing Horizon Forbidden, there are a couple of issues that are still outstanding that are known issues. My favorite of which is some players are experiencing an issue where Aloy's outfit appears blurry in photo mode. Just be like, why? It's like when we go into photo mode, suddenly it's just, she like, I don't know, maybe they have to like censor her outfit in photo mode and just goes all blurry. Anyway, patch notes are funny.
Or maybe they'll add DLC for Pokemon Legends. That'd That they've been kind of doing that a lot lately.
Oh yeah, maybe Alloy's wearing one of those Space Invaders thing with the fuzzy yarn.
Oh, so it's not really a blurry effect so much as it's just really truly showing
It's
off
just really
the
fuzzy.
fiber.
Yeah. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to download I'm just going to experience the newest way to play the Pokemon trading card game and download it for Windows. You know why I can do this? Because we're in Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
now
I bet
available in Canada. Huh.
I bet you would like to do this too.
We don't
If you're
get
not
that
in
often.
Canada, you can't.
We get something nice.
But I know all of you watch those YouTubers who talk about their VPNs that do whatever for them. So just pretend you're in Canada in your VPN now, I guess.
Yeah, so
I know you all
the,
got one.
the beta for the new Pokemon trading card game is live only in Canada. Yeah, we get it first. We get to beta test it.
So what's wrong with it?
I don't know.
Don't know yet.
Okay,
It's probably
we
fine.
haven't found out yet.
Uh,
Fair enough.
Although it's interesting. So this is the new Pokemon card game app, Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, which replaces Pokemon Trading Card Game Online.
I guess that means Wheeler will have a new Pokemon trading card game he can do because he lives in Canada as well.
Apparently Arena's down, so maybe that's what Adam's going to have to play today. Oh, his headphones are in.
It is currently available for Mac, Windows, and Android. Not the iOS one hasn't come out yet, but it will be soon apparently.
Woo.
The official US site for the app says it will be available soon, but who knows when that will be.
Well, maybe they'll talk about it during Pokemon Presents.
So yeah, they it's impressive, in comparison to say Magic Arena. All of your cards from Pokemon Online will transfer over, except for they're saying like there's a couple that don't, but you'll get
Right, we did a
compensated.
We talked about this a few
I think
weeks back.
they
where
they announced the when they
yeah,
announced this they
because
talked
they were
about
announcing
this.
stuff going down and certain things wouldn't transfer over, but if they
And-
would turn into other things or something.
Unopened product in bundles won't be transferable, but you will get in-game currency for stuff that doesn't migrate. So I guess that's good. And apparently the old app will shut down shortly prior to the real worldwide launch of the the TCG Live. So, they're putting their whatever technology where their mouth is. They're shutting down the old one and starting the new one immediately. They're not doing like a phased upgrade thing.
That's good.
But yeah, if you're in Canada, you can get it now. So you should do that. And then
If you want,
tweet
yes.
about it and laugh at people who aren't in Canada.
Tweet at Paul about it, and good luck finding Paul's Twitter that he doesn't have.
And beta test it. Oh yeah, and there's just this one little article. We were talking about sports games. I saw this morning and I thought it was kind of interesting. In a leaked thing from a meeting at EA. They've been talking. EA was talking about how their FIFA games, which are the football / soccer series, they're having problems with the FIFA license in that because it's a FIFA, it's like FIFA licensed. They're limited in what they can do. They're saying our players tell us they want more modes of play, different things beyond 11 versus 11, different types of gameplay. But apparently, because it's FIFA licensed, they basically
no.
all they can do. So if you think about you can imagine when you're brainstorming stuff for a video game, be like, let's have everybody have cool superpowers. Let's have 100 versus 100 battle royale soccer. Let's have different stuff.
What if we replace the players with cars?
Yeah, what if we have a giant soccer ball and the players are all driving cars? Like, they have all
multi-ball.
Yeah, multi-ball. Like, you know, it's always the thing of like, of all the things you could do in a video game, sometimes simulating the real world is like one of the less interesting things you could do. All sorts of fun things that you could do in other sports games, even the sort of simulation realistic style ones have added elements of, you know, like whatever player streaks or, you know, different things to try and sort of spice things up. And apparently the FIFA license makes it so that like EA has to be very they're very conservative about what's allowed in the game. And also because of FIFA's existing relationship with, so like FIFA has a relationship with Adidas, is like the official sponsor, and so that means that like the FIFA game can't have any like Nike stuff in it.
Right.
So the leak is we know our players want to have more things, but they can't because of how our licensing is structured.
Yeah, basically and I guess the leak is that the EA like management and stuff has been like griping about FIFA, which they wouldn't be doing publicly.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, right. Also, there's the whole thing with the EA's NFL license also stops other publishers from making simulation games that bear the league's official support. So there's this idea, because like if you license when a company licenses a thing to one company, then it's like an exclusive deal. So you can't have like the real sports and stuff. Anyway,
That's okay. Most sports are made up.
It's true. Sports,
nearly all of them.
Sports are made
I've watched the Canadian Heritage Minute about us making basketball. It's just all made up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then somebody makes it more complicated, and then they add some more rules and extra lines on the ground, and then a bunch of YouTubers make very fancy videos about what anything means anymore.
Yep.
How did people figure out what things mean before, like, YouTube videos about what things mean?
I don't know. I think there used to be books.
Encarta is actually what you...
I just need someone to explain the ending of this movie.
Yes.
Oh.
I hate those videos.
There's one guy who does those for horror movies that I actually quite like, because I don't really like horror movies, but I kind of like to, like...
Know about them?
No, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. And I don't want to watch that, because it would freak me out.
Y'all remember basketball, but on trampolines? I think you were talking about slam ball.
Oh my goodness.
And I definitely remember slam ball, and it's weird that never took off. I mean, it took off in the short term, but like...
I mean, if you double bounce.
Yeah.
The ball or the person.
All right. And that is all the news that I decided we would talk about.
No more news. None of the news exists. Anything you've heard of doesn't happen until after this, and therefore can be new news, but you won't hear about it from us until next week.
Perhaps.
Did it not take off because serious injuries were frighteningly common? That's probably why.
Oh, you think? With a trampoline?
That's probably why.
Serious injuries just happen with trampolines.
Yeah, that's just like
in general.
Yeah, I feel like the whole backyard trampoline thing is kind of... Like, everyone had backyard trampolines used to be super cool, and everyone had them, and then it turned out that kids were getting
we had a tiny one of those really small trampolines that you're supposed to use inside the house for like workouts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And I definitely was the reason it went away, because I jumped off my bed onto it, and if you know anything about trajectory, I then definitely went headfirst into a closet that was closed. And then the trampoline went away, which is surprising because my brother liked to jump under it underneath a fan that was going most of the time, and he was very tall.
No.
And I really was waiting for that to be the reason why that trampoline was going to go away. But instead it was me.
Such a shame that YouTube fail videos didn't exist back then.
They called it America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, actually, Creasehurst, that's a good point. Bethesda, there is one more piece of news I saw. Bethesda is discontinuing their launcher,
Right.
which is great. Because we don't need it. We don't need all your stupid launchers.
Right, they're one of
Yeah.
those.
Weirdly,
You can just do it in Steam now.
yeah, they're using Steam. They're not looping into the Microsoft ecosystem.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
odd.
So there's a whole thing about like, if you have Fallout 76, you can do this, follow these things to transfer it to Steam. In that accent too, which is weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, why Bethesda just became like Swedish or something.
You don't sound like Todd Howard. I assure you I am. Please give me your email. So anyway, I've given them my email and we'll see what happens.
All right.
Hello, fraud.
Oh, hello, fraud. Let's talk about what's coming up next.
Well, assuming they fix Arena, because it's currently under maintenance, James and Adam are going to be playing some Magic the Gathering in half an hour.
Presumably some Kamigawa.
Oh yeah, this
I guess
format rules.
Yeah, I've definitely seen you sticking to the drafts of this instead of switching to other things.
It's very fun.
And then tomorrow, as we have... Oh, no, wait. Tonight.
Tonight, later.
Which queen is this?
Yeah.
Which
Black-
queen?
Witch Queen.
Which queen?
The
Sandwich queen?
I feel like the Witch Queen gets around a lot in
Well-
like different video games.
yeah.
I know the Witch King is in a different... That's in some other game. Is the Witch King. I think he's in WoW.
It's a job description title.
The Lich King is in WoW.
Oh, like Lord of the Rings obviously has the
Oh
Witch
right,
King.
the Witch King. Yeah.
Anyway.
There's the new campaign, so we'll probably be
Ooh.
doing that.
Fun.
Yeah.
And then, as we have repeatedly mentioned, on Friday it's going to be Elden Ring Day.
Whee!
And so Wheeler and Adam are going to be playing the heck out of it. Multiplayer co-op Elden Ring. And then on Saturday, Escape from Tarkov.
Still escaping.
Yeah, they're
Always be
starting
escaping.
Elden Ring at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and they have to wrap up at some point before 1 p.m. the following day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James, Joe, Kim, and Serge are going to be playing Escape from Tarkov. They're saying that they're going to try to do what they call server raids, where like a bunch of them all try to get on the same server,
Ooh, fun!
which is apparently just a process of everybody hits the button at the same time and hope you end up in the same server.
So
It's a
trying
very
to
sophisticated
escape
system.
as a group into Tarkov
Yeah.
and then out. I
Tarkov
guess.
is no fun if you aren't there with friends,
Yeah, it's the same as my house.
And then on Saturday night, afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it, is Loading Ray Live, where something's going to happen. That's the only guarantee we give you.
We've filmed something for it that might be very long.
That's generally true.
I'm working on it.
Make it shorter.
He's trying. He's been trying for days.
Maybe we need to make a special YouTube cut that's just the longer version.
Just if only we were less entertaining.
Oh.
It's the curse.
Yeah.
The curse of Loading Ready Run. And then on Sunday, it's back to Elden Ring.
What? They're not going to beat it tomorrow?
Apparently not.
Oh.
Slackers.
I mean, you
and-
never know. I bet they're really going to be quite efficient at it.
It's like 100 hours.
I believe so. I believe the plan
Very
is
efficient at it.
Sunday.
Hey,
like-
Adam.
Sunday. It's Fridays and Sundays. Is it
and-
Wednesdays?
or Mondays?
Sunwed Fry.
Aha! I was right about Wednesdays.
Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. Is when they'll be playing it. And then Demo
Yeah, we've unlocked some stairs now, and we found all of the weird cat dolls that keep following us around, and we found a puzzle that is incredibly weird, and I looked up the solution for it, so I'm going to find out on Sunday if Ian wants to know the solution for it, or if he wants to be just as angry as me about what we think and what's actually going on.
What you should do, if he does want to know the solution for it, you should be like an oracle, like give the solution, but like give him just like a rhyming, like in order if the puzzle you want to solve, first you must,
So yeah, just prep all that.
I don't have time for that kind of thing.
And then Wheeler is going to be playing Inscription.
Inscription.
And then, of course, on Monday, we are into the Can't Draw Horses Club, followed by Crossing the Streams, which is a game that I do not know what the game is right now.
I think we're doing like a slew of like Mario-related things, but I can't remember for sure.
I don't remember either.
Lots of cool stuff coming up. LoadingRun.com/live is the place to go. See the full schedule. Let's thank people who subscribed during the stream. Starting with
Boop, 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 boop.
Odyssey of Odd Ducks for 29 months. Thank you very much.
Shringar for 11 months.
Ember the Dragon for 94.
Rock Pusher with that Commodore 64 months.
Emergentos for 42. Sorry, I'll stop.
Ozzy Rob W for 98 months.
Pravakun for 32 months.
The unbound laconicness of 97 months.
The Hakofo. I'm assuming that's science of some sort.
Welcome, Dr. Mutant. You're a new subscriber. I hope you stick around.
And welcome back, Daedalus423, who decided to come back for their second month.
Cineral Lupus 40, also new subscriber. Glad to see you.
Nice. Mentafold for 44 months. Thank you very much.
Morden Solus sings for 43 months. Hopefully they'll stop soon.
Meows. Sure. 60 months. Welcome back. Happy streams anniversaries.
And Glodnox for 56 months. Thank you very much. And no bits.
Cool.
Thursday streaming.
you fixed
Thank
it
you
so
for
if
getting in there.
You fixed it so that if there's no bits, it doesn't go, thanks for 0 bits.
It hasn't done that in a while.
That's good.
But a couple people slid in there on the at the end. Thursday streaming. And
Tires red.
Tears red right hand.
Tears red right hand. Sneaking in there at the end.
Yeah, the game over the overlay you have is easier to read because if there's any like capitalization or anything, I can see it better. And if there's not, then I can blame my new ability to try to sound everything out.
Nice. Ooh, and the Beardzilla.
Ooh.
Very under the wire.
We're gonna leave now. I think. Goodbye.
If you go out first, it'll be a lot easier for me to leave. Here we go.
All right. Bye, everybody.